And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I here recording on Christmas Eve, but you guys are seeing this on Christmas, so Merry Christmas. We'll have a pregame show later in the day for you, 4:30. Make sure you're there to check it out. But for now, we are going to do a Christmas episode of How About Them Celtics, much to Sam's chagrin. It was actually his idea, though, so I can't even say that. We're going to be handing out Christmas presents, handing out gifts for the holiday season for everybody on the Celtics. We're going to go back and forth, say what this person should want for Christmas. It could be basketball related. It could be not. Most of them are going to be basketball related. Spoiler alert. We're just going to flip back and forth. This is what this person should want. Sort of like if this person could add anything, like for example, if prime Russell Westbrook got a Christmas present, probably a 3-point shot. You know what I'm saying? So like that sort of
Ben
thing.
Simmons,
3-point shot, or Zion Williamson. Anyway,
or the desire to play professional basketball.
Yeah.
At all.
Right, we'll head. Let's do that in reverse order. So I have Basketball Reference open. Let's start with the less good players, for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's go reverse order. So JD Davison is the first on my list. Do you want JD Davison or you want Svi? And that'll be the back and forth.
I will. I'll take JD Davison.
JD Davison. Okay, kick it off
first. JD Davison should want for Christmas the ability to play in the NBA, meaning I don't think he's an NBA player.
Sure.
I think the turnovers in general are too high. I know in the G League he does a pretty good job, but I don't see any sort of future for him we're starting this off on a great note for Christmas. I don't see any sort of future for him on the Celtics. And I was actually like kind of annoyed when I saw that he got in the game against the Clippers and Jordan Walsh didn't. I think
Jordan Walsh might be hurt. I saw some rumblings that he was
dressed.
I know, but he was like questionable for the last main game. So I wonder if it was just like, all right, let's not.
They should have let him show up to the court dripped out then. He could have looked super cool. In LA? He's like 19, dude. Like all the ladies would see his drip.
Also, Jordan Walsh not on this list because he hasn't appeared in a game yet. Let's just handshake Jordan Walsh what he should wish for. To play in the NBA, but from a different perspective. Maybe get some minutes, maybe get on the court. And I know with your smile, you're going to say hair, but that's fucked up. Am I right?
I didn't say hair. You said it, not me.
I knew it was coming. All right, number 2, Svi Mykhailiuk. Defense. He should probably get some defense for Christmas. Get him locked in there, or double gift the ability to make shots when playing less than 20 minutes a game, because he's not really doing that this season. It's been a tough year for Svi. I mean, I hope he picks it up. He's just not really a part of the rotation. We don't have to spend too long on it. Defense and consistent free. I don't know the right wording. Just hit your threes, Svi. It's like what you do. Come on, brother. Lamar's up next. You want Lamar or Delano?
I'll do Lamar.
And I'll let you.
We can just alternate.
Hit it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be creative with this because we can. Your knee-jerk reaction is 3-point shooting, so we can't do 3-point shooting for every single guy. So what I will say is Lamar Stevens for Christmas could use an extra 5 inches so he could be a center.
Yeah,
because the Celtics kind of have been playing him as a small ball center, and he's done okay in the role. I mean, he started, I think it was against Cleveland. No. He started in the Magic game. I'm sorry, because literally everybody was out. But he did fine. Like, he's good at cutting without the ball. He likes to sit in the dunker spot. And if he was a little bit taller, he really could be utilized well that way. But because he's not, the realistic option is learn how to shoot threes, buddy. But I can't be like, learn how to shoot threes for like 6 different guys. So
yeah,
we'll say if he was a little bit taller, because he has the defensive grit. He's strong. He really could be like a decent big guy. It's just they have no window to play him because they can't rely on him on offense. It's 4-on-5.
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of, you could say they should shoot threes for 5 guys. I've got Delano Banton. I'm also going to try to stray away from that, even though it's the obvious answer. We're going to say 15 pounds. I think gain a little weight. I think Delano Banton has the structure of a good wing, but the ball handling skills of a good guard. And I think if he weighed, 225 instead of 204 at 6'9", it'd probably do him some good. I think he'd be a little bit more apt on the defensive end. I think he'd be a little bit more impactful. I think he'd be a better driver because we've seen he can do it. Just hasn't been as consistent. Consistency could also be bundled in with that gift. But yeah, I'll go 15 pounds for Delano Banton. Next up for you, is, let's see, what do we got here?
It's Drew
You
Peterson.
have Drew
That's who I
Peterson.
have.
Yes.
So
Mm.
I'm going to say Drew Peterson could use 30 pounds.
Yeah, there it
He's
is.
significantly skinnier than Delano Banton. He's 6'9", and he weighs 205 pounds according to
Wait,
Basketball Reference.
he is exactly listed at 1 pound heavier than Delano Banton. That's 1 pound. That's
Go to
nuts.
the review on that one. That's the
That's
Trump 215, except they're
that's a
adding
lie.
weight.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's not true because the man turned sideways. You can't see him. You saw him in that Clippers game in the 3 minutes he got at the end.
Yep.
He was significantly skinnier than everybody out there. So he could use a little bit of extra bulk. I think his 3-point shooting ability gives him a foot in the door. But in order to have a lengthy stay with the Celtics as the potential Hauser successor, you got to be able to play defense. And if you're 6'9", you're going to be guarding guys that can fold you in half if you weigh 205. You have no hope in stopping somebody unless you put on a little extra muscle.
Yeah, I agree. I think back to back right there. I mean, it was easy. It was a layup. All right, that means I get O'Shea
I heard
Brissett.
you say I heard you say the weight. I was like, damn, dude, what am I gonna do? I was like, we're
Yeah,
just
my
gonna add
bad.
more weight.
Yeah, might as well. Might as well. Do you know who's next, or should I keep telling you who's next so you can think? Like, do you have the page open as well?
I know
Or
who I'm gonna have, yes.
okay. I have O'Shea Brissett, and I'm gonna keep it simple. Just more minutes. I mean, we talked about it on the last pod. Like, that's the Christmas gift he should be wanting, and he's been earning it. Like, you'd want to say the threes, but for as much as the 3-point shot, maybe you wish the hitch has gone in the shot. But he's been shooting it well as of late. Like
40% 3-point shooter on the season.
exactly shot pretty well in that Clippers game. Defense is there. The rebounding is there. Just get him on the floor a little bit more. A more consistent role when everybody's healthy is what his Christmas wish should be.
I really think like O'Shea Brissett's going to be the, oh my God, they got this guy in the bio market guy, except he's not going to be newly acquired.
Did
He's already on the team.
Did you hear what Joe said? It was a while back when he had a good game. Joe goes, "Yeah, we keep reminding him we brought him in because he dropped 40 on us or whatever it was. Like, so we keep
He
him."
did. It was a fact. It happened. I'll never forget it.
I think it was like
And I
26, but
immediately
yes.
knew who he was.
Yeah.
So up next, we've got Luke Cornett. And for Luke Cornett, there's a few different things I could say. But I think I'm going to say quicker feet because
Yeah, good.
the main drawback from the Cornett minutes in a vacuum, where he is the third big guy, has been that he's gotten burned anytime he's been put on the perimeter on defense. There was the Magic game for the in-season tournament. He was a target almost every possession in the second half when he was out on the floor. And I think if Cornett moved his feet a little bit better and he was quicker on defense, which sometimes is just not physically possible when you're 7'2", what are you going to change? I mean, he's trying his best, but
Yes.
you're just not physically able to keep up with some of these guys. And if he was a bit faster, he would be cemented in the Celtics rotation rather than people saying, hey, Neemias Queta should be over him.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's a good one for Luke. Speaking of Neemias Queta, my turn for Queta. I am going to wish for. There's a couple things here. I think quick feet is a good one for him as well, like the ability to defend the perimeter. But since you said that for Luke, I'm going to pivot. How about the ability to make layups? Let's get Queta finishing at the rim a little bit better, because
I like this. Good one.
for as great as the 3 offensive rebounds are a game, that number would be cut in half if he made his first attempt at the rim. And all due respect, he's been a great hustle guy. We talked about how he deserves more minutes in the last pod, and he does. Let's finish those layups, Neemias. Come on, let's get it cooking here. Let's make the shots within 2 feet of the basket. I think that's the next goal. A little bit of better touch around the rim. That's what we're going with for Neemias Queta.
Yeah, he was 4 of 7 against the Clippers, but the real like, oh my God, he keeps missing came when he got fouled, and they were still easy looks. There was one where Harden just slapped his offhand, and it was a foul, and he didn't finish for an and one. Like those kind of things could really make him that much more significant off the bench. Up next for me, we have Peyton Pritchard. This is a tough one. I have a few different avenues I'd like to take this. I'm gonna go this way. NBA expansion would be a great Christmas gift for Peyton Pritchard. I think Peyton Pritchard is absolutely fine with the Celtics. I think the Celtics have given him far more opportunity this year. He's up to 20 minutes a game compared to like 13-ish last year, and he was playing very inconsistently. He's played in all of the Celtics games this year. But if there was to be expansion in the NBA, he would have an opportunity to not only take on a larger role with one of these new teams. I would imagine he would be someone that gets picked in the expansion draft, unless they did protect him. Like,
I think
looking
he
at
might be
this
on the
list,
line.
yeah, he might get protected. But even then, there will be, with more teams in the league, thinner rosters, whether it is the Celtics or an expansion team's roster, and there will be more opportunity for him. Because I think Peyton Pritchard has such a great skill set, but he's not being able to take on a large enough role to utilize it just because of the sheer talent around him on the Celtics.
Mhm.
And I don't necessarily think the answer is, oh, he needs to be on a shit team. He just needs like one less guy in front of him, and he can really be the initiator on offense at all times. Because over the last week, he's been red hot, and we've seen him get the chance a couple times to be the guy with the basketball, running pick and roll, getting to the rim. He got to the rim okay in the Clippers game. He just didn't really convert, which not really what you want to see when you're like, oh, this guy should get more opportunities to be the initiator. But still, the proof is he can still get there. And I think in the NBA, that's almost the hardest part, is to get yourself the shot inside.
Yeah, I back it. I believe it. Good gift. I have got Al Horford. I'm going to say a time machine. Wind it back. Get him back to 25 years old.
Have one.
That's what I'm saying. Not for the sake of him playing better, but for the sake of allowing him to play for the Celtics longer. That is what I'm saying. I say, or maybe just a stop time button. Let Horford be here forever. I don't want to picture the Celtics post Horford, because that's sad, and he's great, and he's exactly perfect for everything they do. Time machine, stop time, like just keep Horford around. That is the Christmas present. Break the time space continuum. That's what we're going with for Horford's Christmas.
It's not a bad gift. That'd be pretty. I wish someone would get me that.
I had to try, and if I do ever get a time machine, just know that the first thing I will do is make sure that Horford is on the Celtics forever.
Okay. Next is
Who's
Sam
next
Hauser. At this point in time, he's sucked ass shooting threes. He has. He's been slumping this week.
Had a couple slow games.
So with that in mind, I'm going to say for Christmas, it would be sick to give Sam Hauser a 40-inch vertical, just so he had a little bit extra in his game that he might be able to give when the threes aren't falling.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind seeing him slam his head off the rim as he dunks on three guys. That would be pretty cool. We already get to see him do super cool dunks every once in a while, but if he had a super freak athletic type build, he could be probably a near all-star level player with the clip he shoots threes at. Like, you have to, and plus that would, like, just by what is it called? Collateral. Like, he would become a better defender because he's just more athletic.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And he is a decent
like the 40-inch for it. Yeah, he's throwing some super cool dunks down. I can't, come on.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action than NFL. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including you got spreads, you got your player props, you got over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
All right, I've got Drew Holiday, and I am going to go. This is a tough one because I was like thinking through, like, what would Drew Holiday want? I was trying to, like, do I go with something funny? Do I go with something on the court? And it almost feels like Drew Holiday doesn't need anything because he's in a good position. I'm gonna go with a playoff series win over the Bucks, because as much as he says he doesn't want it,
pick.
I think that would be just perfect for Drew Holiday. I think I mean, he said that after the trade that everyone was like, yeah, no, okay, I don't care. I'm happy where I am now. They got what they wanted. Well, you know what, Drew? Let's get what you want. Let's get a playoff series win over the fully healthy Milwaukee Bucks, just so those fans can't say anything about Chris Middleton. We'll say that.
They're really trying. I keep seeing Twitter posts where they're like comparing the stats and they're like, look, the difference is like Holiday at times is the 5th option for the Celtics on offense and Middleton's still 3rd. So the opportunity to put the ball in the basket hasn't exactly been there for Holiday, but to his credit, 2 games in a row with 20 points. He's
Holiday's
back.
objectively having a better season than Chris Middleton. I'm sorry. 13, 5 and 4 on 48, 36, or 13, 6.5 and 5 on 46, 41. I mean, they're very similar, but add the
Well,
defense. Like, what are
that's
we
the
doing?
thing. Like that's what people keep pointing at. They're like, look how similar. But the thing is, one, you're getting a lot of defense from Holiday, and two, again, Holiday is doing that as the 5th option.
Versus the third option, yes.
Third or 4th, I guess. Brooke Lopez has had himself some games, in fairness to Middleton. Okay, Derek White. For Christmas, shoe deal. We're here. He's a dog. He has ascended.
I love that.
This
I really
season,
like that.
he is at 16.5 points per game. He's taken the NBA world by storm. He was left out of the top 100. Everybody lost their minds. JJ Redick has become the biggest Derek White fan ever.
Except for me.
Yeah, except for Jack. Jack should actually like get to talk to people about Derek White. Like when they want to interview Derek White, but Derek White's busy, they should get Jack instead. I think a shoe deal would be sick. I don't know what company, but I would probably buy Derek White shoes. I know you would. There are also a couple other like lingering things in my mind.
All-star
One was All-Star nod. Part of my take appearance, Big Cat referenced that he ran into Derek White in an elevator and said that Derek White would be joining the show at some point. So keep your eyes out for that.
Would be sick. Get him back on the any pod. I just want to hear him talk.
Our pod.
This one, Derek. Hey, hey. All right. I've got KP now. Before we get there, Jalen and Jason, do you want one of them in particular? I figured I might ask if you want Jason.
I'm gonna take Jason.
Oh, okay. I'll go KP. Then you want me to go back to back? Then you can finish with Jason Tatum.
You can go back to back. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Kristaps Porzingis. Now, I will start by saying, I think based on his smiles, being on this team is the biggest Christmas present he could have ever.
He doesn't need a Christmas gift, dude. He's donating. He's like adopting a family for Christmas with how happy he is.
Yes. However, I'm going to say his Christmas wish list should be whatever superpower Wolverine has, where he just doesn't get hurt or die or anything. Just invincibility. Just the ability to not have to worry about injuries, the ability to play through anything. Iron, steel, bones, whatever you want to call it. Just the ability to be healthy. And for Jaylen Brown, I can't think of the best way to word this. I want him to get the credit for how much he's improved without all of the box score. Look at these stats. He's not worth 300 million. Do you know what I'm saying? I want the 300 million talk to end, and I want people to appreciate the improvements. I think an improvement of discourse is the Christmas present I'm going to be hoping for Jaylen Brown, because he deserves it. And that's
I think it's fair.
For.
I mean, if you look down, because we're looking at the same screen, if you look down the points per game, it's very evenly spread out for the most part. It's not as drastic as it was last year. And if you look at it, you're really like, you're not like, wow, like that guy's worth 300 million and that guy's worth 300 million and that guy's worth this much. It just seems more like a team thing. 3 guys averaging damn near 20
as it
points
should.
Is pretty good. Yeah, like that's the telltale of a good team. I remember a couple of years ago, we were like, if Jason Tatum has to average 30 points, then things aren't going well. And I think that's something to like stand by. With Jason Tatum being the last player for Christmas, I think he should get Cole, because I'm sick and tired of seeing him slam threes off the rim instead of working to get a better shot.
He was better in the Clippers game.
Well, he took better threes in the Clippers game. He still took 10 of them, but he made 5, and a lot of them were off the catch and shoot, which should be his primary output from beyond the arc. I don't really need to see him doing any dribbles out on the dribbles. I think he has the potential to not only unlock himself and go to another level and become one of those strike fear into your heart guys. And people in the comments might get mad at that because they might be like, well, Tatum has dropped, 46 points in Milwaukee in Game 6, 51 in Game 7 against Philly, turned up in the final minutes of Game 6 against the Sixers. Like, he shows up in big moments. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you play somebody like LeBron in a playoff series, you're not thinking to yourself that you can stop them. You're just going to have to adjust and make him play a way that isn't comfortable. With Tatum, he's already playing in an uncomfortable way because he's forcing tough looks from beyond the arc instead of moving the ball around at times. It's not every time. It's not nearly as bad as it could be. But with the talent on this Celtics team, I just think the room for the isolation threes is not there. You can still take all the threes, but create them from ball movement. Draw multiple defenders, drive inside. He's gotten significantly better at finishing around the basket, and to his credit, that was a much needed improvement to his game over the last couple of years. So he's doing a lot to improve. It's just just get over that final hump to be an absolute demon to play against at all times when teams are like, we don't know what we're going to do with him.
Listen, I've been vocal about my stance on it. I am largely okay with some of the threes. I don't care as much. I think it's fine. What I will say is I think fuck, what was I just gonna say? I lost it. Shit, this is bad. I lost it. I completely lost what I was just gonna say. I had the whole thing that I wanted to make a point of. What was the last couple things you talked about? Now I'm mad.
I talked about not being necessarily someone you would fear in a playoff series because he makes it hard on himself already. The defense doesn't necessarily have to do that.
Yes. Sorry. I agree, and I understand why it's frustrating. I also think the team doesn't do a good enough job of getting him those looks.
That's fine.
I think
that's
it is largely, like, I would have to look at it. I would guess like 70% of his points are unassisted. Like, he doesn't get looks within the flow of the offense, and like it's easy to blame him for taking those pull-up threes, but in reality, it feels like those are the only shots not the only shots because he can get downhill, but it is much easier to take a pull-up three than work completely by yourself and drive inside, like when there's going to be 7 bodies thrown at you. Sure. And so I understand why he takes them. And I think it's up to the Celtics to create more looks for him.
I think that's like a good point too. I think the offense itself could benefit from some less individual targeted scheme where you're not necessarily trying to get Tatum shots every possession. You're just trying to get a good shot because you legitimately have 5 all-star caliber players out there at most times, or at least 3 at all times. There's no reason why you can't run something that's more diverse in your attacking plan. Because if you're just funneling through Tatum, it makes it so much easier to predict your team and what's going to happen with the ball. But when the Celtics are firing it on all cylinders, they've proven they can do it without certain cogs. They did it without Tatum against the Kings. Porzingis was out against the Clippers. They scored 144 plus in both games. Their offense can pop off, and they can get big outbursts from multiple guys. There's not necessarily grounds to slow everything down and disrupt the togetherness of the offense for just somebody to get extra shots. I think they should get him extra shots in the flow of the offense, but I don't know if there should always be this possession is him and that's it.
I'm not saying that. I just think the reason he takes so many of those shots are because that's where he's just getting the looks the easiest for him. And I'm not saying it's easy in the sense that like, oh, they're easy shots, he'll make them. Easy in the sense that like that's just the easiest shot for him to get because of how much focus the defense puts on him. And so I think part of that's on the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to let them take him out of the game, the defense.
Exactly.
So, to your point, there is room for it. He and the team need to work on smoothing it over and figuring out how to make it work the best. Because right now, they're not at the best possible outcome with it. Because it's just, it feels off, it feels unnecessary, and a lot of times it feels forced. You just don't need that.
Sure. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Let us know some of the Christmas presents you would give. Joe, what do we give Joe? We should give Joe Missoula a present. Give Joe compliments.
Him a break.
I agree. It's getting crazy. Give Luke Cornett a break, too. I've seen a lot of fuck Luke Cornett on Twitter lately. It doesn't make any sense to me. Thank you all for tuning in. That's what I'm saying. They're just like, cut him, get rid of him. And for Brad, Banner 18.
Pat on the back.
Banner 18 and a pat on the back. Thank you all for tuning in. Let us know what you would get, everybody on the Celtics. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We'll see you for pregame at 4:30. I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching or on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're doing videos like these full-length pods, game recaps. We're doing film breakdowns, trade rumor breakdowns, and we're live a half hour before every single game. Like Jack said, we'll be live for the Lakers or before the Lakers game today on this channel. So make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss anything we do. Oh, we're also doing Talking Seas with Bobby Kravitsky. So those ones kind of drop at random times. You want to be ready for them. You can leave a like, leave a comment. Like Jack said, tell us what you think of the list. Tell us what you would give players. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. If you follow us there, you'll get the full-length audio pods and audio game recaps right to your inbox. You can leave a 5-star review and say something nice. If you want to reach out to us and be a part of the show, you can send an email to hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're always reading your emails, and we really appreciate those of you that reach out. If you want to enter the Impopnito giveaways, you can comment or email what's poppin', and that will be a drawing for a $10 Impopnito gift card. You can pick from over 60 popcorn flavors. It's a great deal. You can follow us on socials at How About MCs. We've been tweeting a lot more, so you want to be there. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok too. Facebook is just the name of the pod. Our pregame streams are there, YouTube, and on Twitter. My Twitter and Jack's Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at JacksMoneyNBA, and mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.